moving on to the right sidebar here on top. If you click over here, we have our first menu. It's a tool. There's only one. But basically, what you can do also in ZBrush, if you click on the wording, you can close it. You can drag any menu like this option over here. This circle-y thingy with the arrow pointing right topwards. You can just drag this and just drag it over here. So you can drag like any menu to your right and left. So if you want to close it, just click back on that thingy. And if you notice here, you have your dividers also. If you hover over here, it tells you click to restore the previous position. So if you double click, it closes the tab, and then if you double click again, it reopens it. Same on the left and at the bottom. So if I double click over here, I just grab my Z plugins. If like this menu you normally use it a lot, it's very ideal just to drag it over here. As you can see, we already have our brushes over here, so you can just drag as many menus as you want to. Entirely up to you. And over here at the bottom too, you can just do anything you want to. So starting from the top right, copy tool, self-explanatory. So you just copy and then paste it. It's gonna do like let's paste it. It created another tool, which is a copy of the tool we were currently selected. So let's delete all. And then import, you can import your meshes. So these are the files you can import: STL, sculptures file. Now we can in ZBrush 2021, you can import your sculptures sculpt if you're using Sculptures Pro. And then now you can import that Maya, OBJ, Cozy, etc. Just play around with that. We're kind of limited to the file imports, but then these are the major imports we can import. So in export, you can export your selected subtool, or if you go to OBJ extended, you can export like multiple thingies, subtools. I only have one over here, so it won't make much of a difference. Let's just wait for that. So go to the side. Go back here, and next clone tool, same thing. Make polymesh 3D. Make polymesh 3D. It's like if you imported like primitive and stuff. So if it says now PM 3D, then it's a polymesh 3D mesh, which means you can edit the vertices and stuff. Just play around with your mesh. So if you having trouble like to sculpt and stuff, normally just make sure it's a polymesh 3D. So here's this order, just so restore configuration. So if you click this order, it will clear up your subtools there. You see, it just cleans that up. It doesn't delete them, it just cleans it over here. So if you click over here, you still have them over here, and this is the number of them you can view. And then at the second menu, subtools. So basically it's like your layers in ZBrush. Not like layers, because we have like layers in ZBrush, but it works like that. It's just it's where ZBrush arranges your models, your 3D models. So As you can see, we have this on top of that one. This is a poly paintbrush, so if I turn this off, you see we lose the poly paint details we had there. Turn this on, you have the poly paint, which is RGB. This is view your subtool or hide it. So as you can see, this is turned off. If I click over here, and then it's back on. Same thing poly paint. So if you want your thing to subtract, just click over here. I think we'll go through that once we will be doing DynaMesh. I think you might understand very easily. So if you hover over without clicking, it actually shows you the I'm pointing with my hand. it actually shows you, like, if you see on that gray box that pops up, see that one? It shows you the polysphere, the name of the subtool, the number of polygons per subtool, points per subtool, hidden points. If you have anything hidden, it will show you, and hidden polygons and points. So basically, that's if you wanna find out the number of thingy per subtool, and you also have it over here, active points, number of points count per subtool. Okay, moving down, list all, self-explanatory. So if you on top of the button, and then if you hold down Control, it actually shows you the what does this button, the button part do. So list all will list all your subtools alphabetically, and then a pop-up menu selecting any letter which will display subtools and start with the letter. So list everything accordingly. So click the button, select up. So like if you want to move up and stuff, if you want to move way to the, we have a few subtools, so we don't have much control, but then these are just arrows just to move if you don't want to just click over here. And the shortcuts, you can just use your keyboard arrows. I think that's the easiest way, and even if you're in the viewport, so it's very ideal. Rename, you can rename your subtools. Anatomy, which is not anatomy, but then auto recorder. So if you want to control, auto recorder function changes the order of all subtools listed by ordering, and then according to the polygon counts, and then your model with more polygons will be placed above in the viewer. So like if you have like a polygon mesh with huge amounts of polygons, it'll be on top, and then a lesser amount of polygons will be at the bottom. That's auto reorder. Did I say auto recorder? Oh my word, that's wrong. Sorry guys, it's auto reorder. Makes sense. So basically ZBrush does that for you. Or low, like if you have like let's divide here. If you have like like subdivisions, and if I click all low, it will turn all subtools to the lowest subdivision level, and all high vice versa, it will turn every subtool to the highest subdivision level. Copy and paste subtool, self-explanatory, you can do that. Duplicate is just to duplicate your subtools. I normally use the shortcuts, so you guys know where to find your shortcuts. We went through that. Append is basically append a subtool, so you can append like a star, and then over here. Insert, so inserts under the selected subtool. So if I click over here and then insert, and insert under. Append just goes to the lowest subtool. Yeah, in your menu over there. So it goes to the bottom. So append goes to the bottom, and then inserts it inserts the selected. It inserts the subtool under the selected subtool, if it makes sense. Oh my word, I'm even confusing myself. Delete, that's the hardest thing to understand. basically you just delete your subtool. It even asks you like okay, so if you say all is okay, it won't show this pop-up ever again, so be careful of that. It will just delete it, and it's an undoable operation. It's like a warning, so you can delete other or delete each other subtools which are not selected. So if I click over here, you won't be left with this one, and anatomy. Delete all or delete every subtool. Like I done over there. Like let's say, what are you doing? Let's say I duplicate this. I see it's a primitive, so we just make it polymesh 2D because you can't do nothing with the primitives. So if I go to delete all, undoable operation, continue, and then it deleted everything. That's that. And then split, you mustn't have any subdivisions to be able to manipulate your mesh. So you might see like these things are grayed out because you mustn't have any subdivisions. So you can delete lower subdivision, and then open here. Now we can split on mask. Let's say split hidden. Okay, let's start with that. So we remember this. If you hide this, so this is hidden now because it's not there. Now we have our option split hidden turned on. It's not grayed out anymore. So if split hidden, it actually splits the hidden part and the visible part. So split hidden, it creates like two subtools. You might not see the difference, but then it's actually there. See? And then on mask point, so if you have like a mask over here, and then split on mask points, basically splits and then creates like another subtool. So we have like, if for example let's say you like this part and you want it alone, you can just split on masked point. Same thing, split masked point and split the masked one. Button press ZBrush will split any mask geometry into a subtool, so it creates like a new subtool, as we also saw over here. That's that with our menu. Merge, basically like we have this, we have merge down, so it will merge the selected subtool with the bottom subtool. So if I click this one here, undo operation, okay, we understand, and then it created this, it merged that. Merged visible, it will merge visible subtools, so it will create like another tool, merge visible, and they created, it will name it merged anatomy, so that's what was my naming. So it merged these two and then created another subtool on top. If I'm moving too fast, you can just watch it over again or just slow me down. Extract, let's merge these bad boys. So can we work with extract, like it's let me clear this more. If I do this, extract is like selecting this mouse part and then creating let's change the thickness. Oh, this is crazy. Extract. I think you will understand it more when I just click on it. Okay, let's do this. And put on white and then extract. As you can see, our thickness is very low, so let's just make it, and then extract. See, it creates like so you can control the thickness. It depends how thick you want it to be. So this is not accepted yet. This is just a preview, so if you click anyway, it disappears. So if you say extract and then accept, it creates another subtool. As you can see, just make sure holding down Control you can clear your mask. Control you can paint over your mask. Control Shift Shift Control Shift. Sorry. Control Alt. You can remove your mask. So that's that. And then open this one. So you can extract anything anyway, so it's up to you. Just do your painting and just be careful of symmetry also. Let's see if I can do anything else. You can extract that. Let's say you want to extract these for some reason. You can see it joins that together, and then you can create another subtool. Let's delete that bar and clear your mask. So it must be outside of the mesh, so it mustn't be over here, so it's going to paint it. Outside it clears your mask. And then next menu, geometry. Geometry, it determines the number of polygons and points you have in your mesh. So the shortcuts, everything is grayed out because we don't have any subdivisions, so this is the subdivisions thingy going on. So the shortcuts, Control D. You see we have 319. Undo that. We had 79. Now if we divide, we have 319 polygons. So depends how hard your system is and how you want to do things. But then we're gonna go through how to work with subdivisions very efficiently, the good way, if I may say, because this can help your life, this can destroy your life. This can make your life easy, this can make your life very hard if you use it the wrong way. So we're gonna go through that once we're doing our sculpting. We're gonna go through that. Let me get some water. Okay, I just had a sip of water there. Okay, so the slider controls like how many subdivisions you want, and if you want to, you can just click over here. Low resolution, you can go to the lowest, and high resolution, you can go to the highest. As you can see, we also have a shortcut. So Shift D lowest, D highest. Shift D lowest, D highest. Just clear this mask. So that's that. Just delete lower. Let me subdivide it again. And paint this. Okay. Delete lower subdivisions, it deletes the lower subdivision levels. And if you go to the lowest, you can delete your higher subdivision levels. And over here, if this is turned off, if you subdivide, let's just turn it on and then just delete lower. Oh man, let's grab something here. Let's grab this and then make it a polymesh 3D. Don't forget, because it's a primitive. And then go over here. If you turn off this and then divide, it won't smooth out the edges, but it will subdivide. As you can see, we're getting more polygons and points. Let's turn on wireframe. Read higher. If I turn this on and then divide, you see now it runs over the edge. Essentially, you're getting that bevel effect going on. That's what you're getting there. So this is it's a smooth modifier. So just it depends what kind of effect you're looking for. Dynamic subdivisions, we're gonna go through this on separate tutorial, but then it's switches limits the functions of ZBrushCore. Okay, we know that. So it's basically not subdividing your mesh, but it's just a preview. So you can click apply once you like the subdivision. So it just shows you how your mesh it's going to look if subdivided. So it's just a preview. You can apply it over here. Flat level, smooth subdivisions, micropoly on. You could, if you turn this on, this way you can create your let's say your wall cloth and stuff. If you turn this on, you see how it changes. So you can play around with different effects. So this follows your geometry, your edge loops, edge loops. Sorry, pronunciation there, and you can control your scale and stuff. That's too high, probably 1, and you can just switch between these just using these arrows. So you can search for which one you want. Subdivision level 0. If you want subdivision, you can see everything changes. Rotating on the Z, rotating on the X, wrong move. Turn this off. So like weld, it welds everything together. This press micropoly mesh will be welded, and then the points overlapping would duplicate. So then this is safe to have on. Stretch to fit mode. Should fit polygons, and which means the brush will weld meshes. Just leave these on too. So that's your dynamic subdivision. So once you have with this, you can just click apply. So it will actually apply to your mesh, because this is just a preview. And turn this off, you see it never did nothing. It was just a preview. Clay polish, it actually, like if you have like hard edges, let's do like how many? Oh my word, I have 2 of these guys. Okay. So what about this? Say let's do this. Let's do the add 10 of this guy. See, okay, if you have like a hard you can clay polish, it basically smooths those rough edges. So you don't need to go each and every place. So you can see you have a mark there. Smooths out everything. It doesn't subdivide it. It's basically like using the smooth brush, but the precise way. If you're lazy to go in there, you can use clay polish. You can play around with the sliders if you're unhappy with the default. You just click over here. That's DynaMesh. You need to delete your low subdivisions. Oh man, let's undo that. Let's do the higher subdivisions. Let's do a clay polish, and then just subdivide it. Oh, I pressed DynaMesh. Let's polish that out. DynaMesh. Let's turn this on so you guys can have an understanding. I think the power of ZBrush is laying over here. This is the option that when ZBrush introduced this, everything changed. So this is the option that we need, and we're very excited to see. If I turn this on, this is where you forget about your topology. So essentially what you can do, if I grab my snake hook brush, You see over here we using topology, and if I drag this more, I am left with nothing. It's completely going crazy. But then if I click and drag outside of my thingy, so basically it retopologizes my mesh equally. So everywhere it has equal topology. So this is the very easy way to start your sculpts. As you can see over here, I can go crazy, like do those homes and not be afraid of the topology. You can see over here master groups. If you have like polygroups in your mesh, so if this is turned on, it doesn't delete your polygroups. So if I subdivide, it keeps it. As you can see, it keeps your polygroups. We're gonna go through the polygroups menu just now. Polish, so it basically clay using this feature, but then when you DynaMesh it cleans your thingy, your mesh. Okay, blur. You can just turn this off. Projected basically reprojects your details. If you started your sculpt and you want to switch to DynaMesh and you're just afraid not to lose those details, so just turn this project on. But it's gonna take way longer because basically it's ZBrush just trying to project your details back to the DynaMesh model. So we just read these drop downs, holding down Control or Command, depends on which system. Resolution controls the much of topology that will apply when you DynaMesh. So if I turn this down and then I DynaMesh, you see this low. Turn this way down and then drag this, and then you see this turns very low. And if I increase, I then probably let's do this, and then I will have that dense mesh. So when you sculpt, we start with the lowest resolution. Sub-projection controls the amount of projection that it will project. So I normally leave this in default 0.6 is fine. I think it was 0.5, I don't know. So I normally leave this at default. So the add button will insert a new element and as additive meshes. This means that when you're doing the zero mesh operation, insert items will be merged as one element with the original DynaMesh. So same holding Control key, dragging anywhere in your open documents, same thing. It will merge everything together. So we'll add. So you have add. So it's like DynaMesh union add, and then this is a subtraction. When pressed, this button or negative mesh will be inserted on top of the DynaMesh mesh. So there's this thing we left out. I said we were going to do it when we were doing DynaMesh. So I press B, I have my insert primitives. Which one should I use? Primitives. These are insert mesh brushes. Grab a cylinder, just click and that was too small. Click and drag anywhere. So basically this will mask my selector subtool and then leave this over here. What I can do, I can move this anywhere I want to. So if you have DynaMesh on, let me turn off grooves. And this is over here, default. If you click and drag twice, it will merge that that insert, that primitive with your original subtool. Let's say I want to subtract now, so hold on Alt or Option, click and drag on your mesh, and then just click the E to move this up, click Q to move back to our draw size. As you can see, it doesn't show the entire thingy, so if you go way down, display properties, and just click double to show the double-sided vertices, your normals, show your normals, and then which one is this? Let's try this one. Clicking it twice, it subtracts. So I turn this light over here from this to this, and then it created this hole, as you can see over here. It's very handy to create holes in the ZBrushCore, so you can just play around and see how everything goes. This is a very nice creature. So okay, moving on. Thickness, create shells, like when you're doing 3D printing. I think we will do this option soon. So if you have like an open hole, let's try to do it. Create a mask. Probably say geometry. Just going quickly here. So as you can see, everything is open over here. I deleted the polygons. We have a hole. So with this create shell, so it creates the shell. Inside your, so it basically closes like creates a shell like on a deep hole. That's how I will explain when we will be doing 3D printing in ZBrushCore. So you guys will understand that more. This determines the amount of thickness of your shell. So you can just play around with this also. ZBrush, this is new also in ZBrushCore. Standard brush. Basically, what ZBrush does, let's say my resolution is very high. Let's say this. Now this is very dense. I can't do any animations, or I can't work with this. This can't work. So what ZBrush does, it basically retopologizes your topology with polygons. Okay, just press OK. Because yeah, with DynaMesh you also have triangles going on. So ZBrush tries to give you that clean topology. Obviously, when you're using ZBrush, the big brother ZBrush, you have a lot of features to control, and brushes to also use, like to control your edge flow, your edge loops, how everything's gonna work into place. If you have like polygrouping going on, you can also control that. So you have a lot of control when you're using ZBrushCore. I mean ZBrush, normal ZBrush. But yeah, there's don't have a lot of features. But you see, it does not a bad job, because we have our edge loop. This is very important. We have our edge loop going on over here. It was almost clean topology, if I must say. Yeah, it was almost clean topology, so it doesn't do a bad job. You can get away with this as long as you're not doing a face. So half, if you have this turned on, it'll take the amount of points you have there and then half it. So it's the best way to reduce the amount of polygons if you are unhappy with the ZBrush, I see. So it reduces the amount of polygons, so it tries to half it. So if you keep on clicking it, you will be reducing the amount of polygons and points on your mesh. So you can play around with that. Modify topology. Copy button will store a copy of the subtool in memory. You can have that. You can do a copy just if you like your mesh going on there, just to store it. So you can paste, replace, place a pen. If you have like a selected subtool, another subtool, and then just place a pen, or replace. You can replace the selected subtool. So we paste the copied mesh over the selected subtool. This will replace the subtool with the copied mesh. So So like, let's say we did a copy over here. Select this guy, make polymesh 3D, to paste replace, and then it changes. It replaced that, and then I make this polymesh 3D, place a pinned, and then it adds that copy of our tool. Hope it makes sense. I think that's the way to explain that. If I'm moving too fast, you know what to do. So we have a copy over here. So it's a great way to store your. You'll probably increase your file size, I think, but it's a great way to store your SubTool, and if you like your edges and polygons and everything going on, just copy. And I don't know what you can do with, but then you can just play around with that. Mirror and weld. Let's see. Let's say you are working, and if you check over here, symmetry is turned off, and you're like, oh no, can't do this all over again. So basically, you wanna do this to the other side. So if you click this, mirror and weld. Okay, where are we facing now? Okay, let's face the right way. Mirror and weld. So it'll basically, okay, if you, let's do this, and you will weld it to the other side. So let's say you are facing that issue I was facing just now. Let's say you were sculpting on the right hand side. Probably like if you do like a model, I don't know if it works over here. Mirror and weld. Okay, let's do the other side. It doesn't work. So it depends which side you were facing. Just undo that. But if you're facing that issue, there's a thing with a deformation mirror. Yeah, it mirrors that. And then once you turn it this side, and then you just say mirror and weld. I think that's your way out in ZBrushCore. Just do that. So you don't need to resculpt all over again. That's very, very handy. And again, I'm going to be available for questions if you guys are having trouble. And obviously this is going to be available for like lifetime. For now, it's lifetime. So if you guys are subscribed, these videos are available for guys to watch anytime. Just for you guys to follow along. We're still doing the ZBrush interface. We haven't started sculpting as yet. So if you don't understand as yet, like how these things work, I believe, don't worry, because like when you start sculpting, that's when you're gonna be learning. So don't worry. And if you face issues, like if you're facing trouble, that's when you're actually learning, because you're trying to troubleshoot what's going on. That's when you're actually learning something. So delete hidden. Let's say I hide this. So click. Let me just stop doing this. Control Shift drag, and then hold on Optional Alt, and then it turns red, and then it hides it, and then delete hidden, because it's hidden. Now we have nothing there. It's completely open. So go down to display and then show double. You can see we have opened a hole there. If you want this, and then it's up to you. If you want to close this hole, you can just use DynaMesh. That's the DynaMesh always closes the hole. So if you go to DynaMesh and just turn this hole, it's completely closed, and then you can carry on sculpting again, and it creates like a new polygon. So then polygroup, I mean. So that's turn this all. Symmetry, just click X, and then you have your symmetry. Let me say mirror and weld, and then symmetry. Everything is symmetrical now. If you see this red dot on the other side, you have your symmetry turned on. If it's not there, it's off. See if you sculpt, it's not there. Sculpt, no, it's on. Cool. Inside mesh allows you to add one mesh into the current sector subtool. With the mesh to combine the model into one solid piece. So you grab this guy, and then it adds that to one subtool. Depends which one you select. Over here, see, now we have a cylinder's cube, a cube and a cylinder in one. So it doesn't create another subtool, it combines everything. So depends what you're trying to achieve, might come in handy. Under control, it shows you everything, so I just explained a few points, but it shows you everything. Okay, so next, position determines the positions of your selected subtool, where it is located, z-axis, y-axis, and the x-axis. So it's in the 0, which is correct. At y 0, so we can just click here and just 0, and then you know everything is correct. If I click my midbrand, so it's the position in the world. So you can just check there which is which, and you can see your size. So 2 always works well with ZBrush, so just make sure, because it works well with the brushes when sculpting. So it mustn't be very high or very low. So 2, I think it's 2 millimeters or meters, I forgot. But I don't know how ZBrushCore works, but then it's millimeters in ZBrush. So 2, it tells you a magic number there. Just previews your subtool there, nothing fancy. Surface, like you have your noise. You remember, like on our lightbox, those nodes I showed you guys. You can click this, and then you can load, press comma. You can see you can have this noise on this rocky texture going on, but this is just a preview. So it determines, so these details determines the number of polygons you have in your mesh. So it determines how much polygons you have on your mesh over there. So if I click apply, might get nothing because I didn't subdivide it. So what you do, you go to geometry, divide, just get as close as possible. So if you want to get every detail, so just make sure to divide a lot. So click apply to mesh, you see I have a few details, so you can just keep on dividing. My computer will freeze anytime soon. Cool, so that's that. Surface noise, you can even edit your noise. You can go to noise and then just edit, play with the sliders. We'll go through this when we're sculpting. Deformers, unifies everything together back to the x and y axis, like your position and stuff. Mirror and mold, we went through that. Polish, like let's say this is hard, and you can just play with this, and then it polishes everything together, those hard edges. Smart symmetry, if you forgot to be sculpting symmetry, so it basically try to make sure your symmetry is in place. Obviously it's not precise, so you can just play around with that. And then you can play around with that. Let's go to deformers again.